Welcome to Khaotic Show. Your lies will be exposed. Welcome to Khaotic Show. Come confess, little bitch. Black veil, lipstick like a slit across the throat. Saint's face, but I'm writing every sin you ever wrote. Nails in your back like I'm hanging you up on display. You choke on my name while you're begging that I make you stay. Kneel down, tongue out, taste the ash on my skin. You pray for heaven, but I drag you where you've already been. Candle wax dripping on the scars you tried. I read your body like a Bible, every chapter is a lie. You wanna worship, baby, bring your shame. Tattoo your secrets right under my name. I'm that sermon you can't unhear. Say you're devoted, then drag you in here. Come here. Khaotic church, sinners alive, exposing the fire, no alibis. You want redemption, look in my eyes. I'll make you confess while I make you cry. Khaotic church, sinners alive, exposing the fire, no alibis. You bend and you break for my crooked desire. Say amen, baby, as we burn in the crown. Hey.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special episode of the Chaotic Church today. As I bring in my guest today, none other than Efed legend himself, Nick Kiken, is in the building.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yep. I mean, this is a special episode, and I know everybody has their crowning moment in this Efed industry, so go ahead. The stage is yours to tell the tale of Nick Kiken.
Whew. Well, I could definitely say it was definitely humble beginnings. Now, I will say this. Nick Kiken was not always my wrestling name. It actually, originally, was Nick Danger.
Ooh,
And
interesting.
I will say this. When you're a fan of content creator, Dent Cops, you definitely tend to throw your own sort of canon into the mix.
Is this the same Thank Ops that does the WWE content over time? And he's been to some of the game releases that they behind the scenes stuff that happened.
The very same.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Now, basically, the whole backstory of my character is basically I am basically the nephew of Chris Danger, as the Kaw, of course.
Okay.
Got his Kaw son, Max, who's basically my cousin, along with his Kaw sister, Brooke Danger, who is my aunt. And let's just say, Chad Danger, his character that he had for the 2K mobile series all the way back in 2K 15 times, I believe, that man would inevitably be my Kaw father. Kaw mother, on the other hand, I mean, I bounced around with the idea every now and again. But regardless, the story begins with me basically, well, for my Kaw's sake, I was like 14 when my Kaw would have been 14 when the decision was made for him to get into wrestling.
Right.
And because of that, there was another reason. Because Nick Kiken would meet a woman by the name of Layla Storm, which we now know as my Kaw wife, Layla Kiken.
Understandable.
And because teenage hormones, go figure, we had our first child when we started dating at 15. Well, actually, I think it was more so once. Yeah, it would have been 15. Okay. And because we were teenage parents at that point, this does lead to one simple thing.
Okay.
Within Ka, my character has supernatural powers, like with the Star King and the Cosmic Emperor. Now, there will eventually be a story-based reason as to how both entities do eventually come together.
Okay.
But all I can say is when me and Layla were friends before we became like a couple, as in dating, basically.
Gotcha.
There was a certain show that we watched when we were 13 by the name of Ruby.
Is this the same show that's like an anime based, but I never really saw it? I've heard a lot of good things about it, but didn't really get a chance to tune into it, if I'm not mistaken.
It was made by the late Monty Ohm, God rest his soul. That's the it was originally on Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
But now, because of the original Rooster Teeth shutting down because of some stuff behind the scenes with Warner Brothers, Viz Media eventually picked up the licensing
So this
for
is
the Ruby
the
series.
same anime that's literally being shown right now via Crunchyroll, if I'm not mistaken.
But now it's on Hulu, on Pluto TV, and a few other services.
Well, I might have to tune in and catch that after this to get started with the whole layout of it.
Yeah, just gonna
Because
say this
I've
now,
been
DJ.
trying to get a little list of good anime shows that are impactful, but also I could get a little thought idea process of creation for certain characters.
Yeah, and now I'm just gonna say this now, DJ. Make sure you watch the trailers. They're out there on YouTube. They're literally labeled Ruby Red trailer, white, black, and yellow. Now that's gonna become very important.
Gotcha.
And make sure you watch them in order from red to white to black and to yellow, because there's going to be there's a lot of lore hidden within those. But then
Good to know.
once you get into the show itself, I'm just going to say this right now. Volume 3 is going to hit hard because of one simple reason. During the development of Volume 3 of Ruby.
Okay. Without having no spoilers or dialogue given away, because we all know how everybody in this community of anime does not like spoilers given to people when you want to get them into the show.
Yeah, all I will say is Volume 3's development happened around the time of that would eventually transpire with the loss of the show's creator, Monty Ohm.
Okay.
So
I'm locking that in as a mental note.
So I could definitely say the ending of Volume 3.
Because right now I've been in more of a Demon Slayer kick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's a good show. My brother just recently got me into
it. And I said to myself, because I wanted to rewatch the movie again so I could be up to par. So I went back through the show and I'm watching it again, and I'm like, I'm seeing a lot of things like that I liked about that I'll say tuned in with it, but also I'm waiting for the second movie to come out for the Infinite Castle.
Oh, I can definitely tell you if there is one anime I will definitely recommend to everyone, regardless if you love it or hate it, Sword Art Online.
You know something? I did start watching the show. I may have to start rewatching it again from the beginning to basically catch up to get my mind refreshed on what I saw.
Oh
But
my
other than
god,
that,
that episode titled "The Gleam Eyes." Oh my god, was that
because
infamous?
I don't know if you noticed, but I've been digging into the games as of
Yeah,
late.
I have too. I definitely
But
can
I
say
still got to
Alice in
get
Age of
certain
Lycanthrope,
ones
I
that I
actually completed.
haven't played certain ones yet, like the newest one that just came out. I got to get that one in my arsenal. So bear with me here as I'm still trying to scrounge up the money to get that. But I'm gonna get it eventually.
Yeah,
Even if I gotta wait till I get my new system in place, that we can make that I can make that happen.
yeah. So let me see. Where was I? Oh yes. So when me and Layla had our first child, it was a girl, and because we were heavily into Ruby at that time, once we realized that she had some powers within her Goldilocks yellowish blonde hair, that's when we realized what her name had to be. Yang, named after the character from the show of the same name.
Hmm.
However, Layla's co-parents, who of course are unnamed, and my co-parents, being Chad and my unnamed mother, they did not approve of us being teenage parents at the time, so they gave us a choice. They were either going to disown us, or we had to put Yang up for adoption. And unfortunately, we made the choice to put Yang up for adoption.
Mm.
And she was literally out of our lives for practically 18 plus years. However, we did get her into a household of a distant relative. So she basically was more so like a cousin to her other siblings at the time before the truth came out. So she was
Mm.
still able to see us. Now,
That's always a good thing. That's always a good thing.
yeah, now, not even a year after that, Layla and I basically got the wild hair up our asses to try again. This time, we had the daughter that I swear, as far as the character like as a Caw, that is my baby.
Hmm.
That girl, I will literally say right now, if anyone touches or harms her within a Caw wrestling ring capacity, in a Caw wrestling capacity, I will literally wish death upon you if you harm a hair on her head, and that is Ruby.
Crazy thing about it is I already know how it goes because, as you could tell, I am in the kingdom with real blood rolls, and boy, anybody heard of Alexa?
Whew, yeah.
That
Well, I can definitely say this, DJ. Now, I will say this right now. While Yang, I'm still trying to think of what her middle name's going to be. I do know what immediately came to my mind when Ruby came along. Like, once I, originally, which I'll get into the reason why, Ruby, Fantasia, and Tyson came around, so,
got you.
but for backstory purposes, we need to get this out of the way. Now, Ruby, she was born originally with blonde hair, much like her mother.
Okay.
However, there is something about her when we gave her the name after her show counterpart that we did not understand until shortly after she opened her eyes for the first time after she was born. She had silver eyes. Much like her show counterpart as well.
Intriguing.
And the silver eyes, they hold a power within them. A power that we had to give Ruby some contacts for. Now, there was this part where like a demon possessed later down the line, but that's a completely different story, which basically nullified the contacts that Ruby had. But either way, that would come later. Now,
Right.
once we had Ruby, then a year later we had another daughter, and that was Fantasia. Fantasia, she's still blonde. She's completely normal. Still is. Yang and Ruby are the only two that have powers. But then, because quite honestly, before the thing that I'll get into in a little bit with my Khaotic family is concerned, they did want me to try for a son. And when me and Layla tried again, our only son Tyson would be born. And I will say originally he did have like a blonde dreadlocks, which just didn't look out of place. But recently I changed him up and gave him a proper hairstyle that more so fit him.
Gotcha.
Because just a white wrestler with fucking dreadlocks that were blonde, it just doesn't make sense on paper. It truly doesn't. I don't know what the person that basically came up with the concept for Tyson was thinking, but it is what it is. I fixed it eventually. Now, they all eventually wanted to get into the wrestling business once they were old enough. Now, bear in mind, they still thought Yang was their cousin. But once Yang turned 13, that's when her adoptive mother told her the truth. And ever since that day, Yang focused not just on school until she graduated high school and got into the wrestling business. Ruby, Fantasia, and Tyson, same deal with them. And they, I can say, are easily talented. Because shortly after Tyson was born, that's when the fallout with my Khaotic family would happen, as far as like my godfather Chad Danger is concerned. Because he originally had me in the WWE. And because of the fact that this was still the authority and it was still under Vince McMahon at the time.
Right. It's like the backbone of the whole outlook.
Yeah. Now, Triple H did not like my Khaotic family whatsoever, as far as like Chris Danger, Chad Danger, Max, Brooke, and all them, but he at least respected us as part of the business. But once 2018 rolled around, that is when the writing was on the wall. My father, Chad Danger, would do something dire. His jealousy for my uncle Chris Danger made him kidnap my cousin Max Danger, steal his identity in an attempt to get a popularity boost in the WWE. And it backfired so heavily that after that year's Survivor Series, they fired him. And after that, that's when he devoted his life to drugs and alcohol. Which is why, to this day, I live a straight edge lifestyle along with my kids, Layla, and my commentor who eventually took me in shortly after I turned 19.
Understandable.
And that man's name was Shane Valentine. Shane trained me, helped introduce me to somebody by the name of Bree George, who was transgender, and slowly but surely me and her are kind of looking like we're gonna bury the hatchet after some COD drama from 3 years ago. We'll get into that side a little
No
bit.
problem. Because there's a lot of stuff that's going to be discussed going forward. Because there are some things I definitely need to get you to get off your chest with a couple individuals that we're going to put in their place later down the line. But back to the story.
Yeah, so Shane quickly became like a father figure to me, and I guess a grandfather figure and an uncle in a few ways to Ruby and the others.
We get that one individual that takes us in and molds us into their own image. I get it. I understand the point where we're going here.
Now, Shane, he did it in the most respectful manner that he wanted me to not only train as with him, but also he understood that that you cannot be in somebody's shadow. He wanted me to be my own, and that's something that when I eventually later on down the line eventually took two of Ruby's friends, being Weiss Snow and Blake Blackwell, under my wing and started to train them as my students. That same thing I instilled upon them.
Understandable.
Because you need to make a name for yourself. You don't ride in the coattails of someone from before.
And also, you don't want to take nobody's image that literally was built already established in the business. So understandably so with that too.
So that's why in Khaw, I took my Khaw mother's family's maiden name of Kiken, which
So
may be
there's
Japanese.
where we get the last name and it's stuck like glue.
But of course, it does mean Japanese for danger, but it may seem to be racist as a recent little Google search I did in a few countries, but that's neither here nor there. I haven't heard any complaints about it, so I'm leaving it alone. But after that whole situation with my Khaw family, eventually me and my Khaw father Chad would come to blows, and I would disown him, leave my family's house, move in with Shane, and never look back. And then my Khaw mother would divorce him not long after. And ever since that
it was
day,
a downhill spiral.
And ever since that day, never spoke to my Khaw parents from that moment forward.
So everything went like downhill with everything you just mentioned, and the fact that you was training to get into the business is pretty intense.
Yeah, and also around that time, after me and Shane eventually started to devote full time, and I started to live with him and train with him full time, along with my Khaw family, I met a kid that eventually I took under my wing, named Jacob Serber. Now, oh boy, that kid was a chore and a half. He definitely had stars in his eyes, and oh my god, the biggest ego complex I think I've seen in this community in years.
Oh wow.
He cared highly about himself, and this was around the time that I was slowly about to be on my way out from WWE because of the whole COVID pandemic. Now, everything with him was fine. until when we got released from WWE as part of his little faction that he took me in with called the Blood Wolves at the time.
Okay.
Now, after that, we were basically left without anything to do. All we were doing was just train with Shane, possibly see if we could try to find some independent promotions that would take us in. And yet, we got nothing. That is until we got into the COD community as a whole and met Bree. Bree helped give me the look that originally I had in my former workplace when back in my first run before I came back, gave it a new little coat of paint, and the rest was history. Now, the problem that started with me and Jacob, it really started to slowly ignite a spark with that fire that burned when the group that consisted of me, Bree, and him, called the Traverse Elite, fell apart. When Bree left me and him high and dry, that's where the cracks within mine and his friendship started to form.
Gotcha.
Then it was the fact that, but the cracks were slowly forming before that, because with his My Career Universe series that he was doing, that I was a part of, back in 2K20, which, yeah, I don't think I need to tell all the viewers here about that, but all I can say is that game was a dumpster fire.
Trust me when I say I know the existential circumstances behind that title was literally crazy to see, but also the amount of bugs and glitches that game had was just
Oh my god! I swear to God, DJ, when I traded in my PS4 to get my 5 several years back, I made damn certain that my physical copy of 2K20 was immediately the first game I traded in.
So you said this got to go bye-bye. We put this into the equation with it.
Yeah, not only that, but considering it was the game that me and Jacob first got together when we became friends, oh my god, I regret that game so badly.
Because I remember, before I purchased it myself, I remember all the spite that game was getting. The community creation wasn't working as good as it was. All the glitches and bugs, all of the things happening in the modes, I was just
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the 2K Originals was okay. It just wasn't. It just doesn't.
It just doesn't add up to what people really wanted for that game to be.
Yeah, it just doesn't hold a flame to what we have nowadays with the current games.
Because right after that, I think they learned their mistakes by taking off that long period of time. And then when you bought us that next game, you basically corrected a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, 22 fixed a lot of things, but it's still...
Like from 22 up, you kind of made those mistakes go away.
Yeah, it's just there were some... there's still some bells and whistles they still need to figure out, but with what I've been seeing with 26, it seems like they're slowly starting to figure that out again.
Right. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, it's like, I know a lot of people want to see a good, decent game before us. We want to get everything we ask for, whatever little intricate stuff that's in there that we want to see be presented in front of us. Cool. But also I can understand those people that want a lot of stuff for the creation factor.
Yeah.
We want to see those things be more of a focal point, if anything, especially because of this year. I know a lot of people were so pissed and upset that, you had shows that was done on last gen, you had shows that was done on next gen, but you took away the outlet that, okay, PS4 and PC were going to be this whole community creations, and PS and the series and 5 was going to have this. And I'm like, you basically branched a lot of stuff away from last gen players that we could have got people that was on our show, and then you're making this upgrade to that next system. It's crazy.
Yeah, and of course, with the fact that PC is now completely split off this upcoming game from the consoles, it definitely is going to make creators like What's the Status, Woody Witterson, Soyo Rue, and so on and so forth
I know a lot.
definitely feel handicapped.
A lot of, and I notice a lot of the creators that run shows on PC are majorly upset because of the fact, and I've noticed that across the Twitter feed / X feed, if we know what I'm saying here.
I still call it Twitter.
I call it Twitter too, so it's like we know what it is. So
yeah,
I saw a lot of people over there literally so upset, and literally this and the third, and especially it came off from PC based players that say, "Oh, how are we going to get our rosters now? We don't want the console based game. We don't want this." And then I think PC ain't even getting the island, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, they are.
Oh, they're getting it, but it's just a separate thing because I think they're probably doing this to keep mods away from the standard based console game.
Exactly, and this definitely kills off a lot of momentum for a lot of COD creators because of the legend that is Mr. Marty M. That dude in his arenas, oh my god. Like, that dude is literally a lifesaver.
I've seen his work across the community creations, and I'm like, just like, wow. Amazing. He was probably one of the most intricate arena creators.
Oh, yeah.
In general.
I can definitely say I know a few shows that use his templates. Code of Honor being one of them.
Now, I understand, like, this is one thing I say right now, man. There's a lot, like, I know that this is the Chaotic Church and we expose everything, but also we bring a lot of truth to the matter here. I mean, because I'm gonna say this to you right now: some of your standard eFed companies that you've been in, I mean, let's just say what stands out like a sore thumb to you when it comes down to the companies you've been in and the way you manage these treatment and those toxic individuals that was over in these eFeds?
I definitely could say probably the biggest one is knowing how to handle issues and handle them quickly and effectively. Now, that's neither here nor there to say that some places are good at that, some places are bad. There are some people that I've come across that certainly don't seem to do a good job.
Oh, I understand that one to a T. And
I mean, we knew one. We knew one.
And he's kind of in that narrative as we've been talking about him, but we're going to get to him in a minute.
Yeah. Let's just say all I could say is he's in deep shit with the quote unquote big league COD shows right now. Code of Honor being the biggest.
And the funny thing about it is this: he's going to drag a lot of creators down a very narrow path if they don't break away from him.
Yep. Now,
and I feel like the two biggest names in particular, and I'll say them right now, Eve Heron and Heather Ray.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Caleb S. Pure Sugar Kid. They're on the side, but they. So
right.
I could definitely say things are looking on the upside for them, but the sooner it's all situated,
The
that's
better.
when I can definitely say it will be the better. Yeah. Now, let me see here. Where was I with this whole story? Oh, yes. So, Jacob definitely cared more about seeing himself at the top of the mountain on his own universe mode series, My Career Universe series,
Right.
and never decided, okay, you're my friend, maybe I should put you over. No, he cared more about having a year-long WWE Championship reign than possibly putting me over eventually and having me hold on to the title for a while.
Right. It's one of them, okay, here. I built you, but now I'm taking myself to the next level, but I'm not giving a damn about anybody else that was around.
Now, there was a point that I could say now, considering Roman Reigns' 4-year title reign. Yeah, Jacob, if you do that series again, good luck, buddy, trying to top that.
It can't be duplicated nor recreated.
Yeah, good luck trying to get that all situated with all those shows of yours, because I'm warning you now, Jacob, you got a lot of games to go through in order for that series to, be dealt with.
Or
And
at least relevant in that case.
yeah, and also to beat that title reign set by Roman Reigns. So good
Right.
luck. But I don't see him doing that anytime soon because he's pretty much already killed off the series for all I know. I mean, I distanced myself from him. Brie distanced herself from him until she eventually went back with him, which I'll get into later.
Right.
But either way, Jacob's caring more about his COD career and all these shows that he's a part of than
And
worrying about
I'm
his
just
own
trying to
content
say to
creation.
myself, is this the same Jacob that I'm kind of in cahoots with in in another show, RSW, and I'm over there probably with the same guy that you know.
Is it it was his name either Jacob Serber or Project Shogun?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh dear God. Well, don't let him know that you know me,
Oh boy.
because he's still salty. He's still salty about
What up, Mark? Mark's comment in the chat.
Oh, well, at least now I can say I'm glad we have an audience. Yeah, Marks, spread the word.
Yep. Drop it in chats for us, please. Back to the story at hand.
Yeah. So the fact of the matter is that Jacob and I eventually would break off from Brie completely and for a while, and then me and him would go. We would go to MPW.
Oh boy. AKA a person that we're gonna get into very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
Mr. Ray Nakai.
Now, the thing is, Ray reached out to me first when I was still with Bree and Jacob at the time. I told him to hold off because I was still trying to get in the process of getting the Nick Kiken character figured out. Then, after the whole fallout with Bree, between me and Jacob, that's when Jacob basically kind of was like spamming me a little, which I can definitely say was another reason me and him fell out. I can definitely say he convinced me a little. I called up Ray, sat down, got to know him a little, and was like, okay. And right around the time that 2K23 was just freshly out, we
The
made the
John
move.
Cena cover.
Yeah, we made the decision to sign with MPW. Oh boy, how we would come to regret that. Well,
we all know the disaster that sideshow was going.
well, my first run with MPW definitely. Well, I mean, I debuted at their
What up,
first ever Wrestle
JK? What up,
Fandom.
JK? Welcome to the show.
What's up, boss? Anyway, so I made my debut at their first Wrestle Fandom. Beat the owner of RHW, Grim Cadillac, and he was already out the door before that. By the time that match was already done and dusted, beat him with a simple Snapdragon suplex for a 3 count. Crazy,
Goddamn.
huh? Like I hit him with my finisher at the time. He kicked out, and all it took was a simple Snapdragon suplex to get a 3 count and get my first win. Jesus, Grim, take the L. or probably go run the ropes a little bit more, Bud, because I hope that handling of you came with some shipping too, because I packed you up, Bud.
Hey, it happens sometimes with a snap.
Yeah. I mean, he did get into some hot water, but I could definitely say I think Grim's slowly starting to redeem himself a little. I mean, I don't know what goes on over there in RHW, and quite honestly, I think for right now, I think it's better I don't know.
Some things are better left unsaid.
Yeah. Now, back on the whole subject at hand. Now, yeah. I came in to Wrestle Fandom along with Jacob. He originally did not win his debut match. He got squashed. He begged and pleaded for the match to be redone. And it was. He got the win, as well as I. Started our careers off with a bang. That's where I can definitely say I think the first red flag came. Then the second one came via what transpired shortly around the time that me and him won the Twin Star titles. Because while I wanted to be basically more of the mouthpiece for our faction, the Straight Edge Elite, he definitely wanted to put his 2 cents in to allow him to also have some
little structure and everything.
Yeah, some voice lines here and there, but regardless, me and him were a faction. I wanted to be essentially the mouthpiece for him. Because, I mean, I was good with promos at the time. Still am.
Right.
But at that moment, I thought everything was fine. But he then started to be a little bratty kid and started causing issues.
Or should I say, a person that's showing their true colors?
Yeah, pretty much. Now, ultimately, when the people that were partnered with Ray at the time, known as the Carpe Diem Network, when Deshaun Walt basically invited me into their Discord server, I saw Bree was in there. And as soon as Jacob caught wind of that, because I kind of ratted about it to him, big mistake on my part, he made the initiative to try to expose Bree for all that she did to us and some certain behaviors of hers, not once, but twice. Bree got me to break away from him. Well, she came back into my circle. She allowed me back into her circle and basically gave Jacob the cold shoulder. He did not take too kindly to that. And then eventually, time went on, I cut him off. Deshaun made the notion on MPW Ascension Episode 3 to not only write Jacob off, but to also bury his character. Immediate red flag. Because the thing that I wanted to do, that I even told Ray about, this before we all left him. I wanted that storyline to be simple. I wanted Deshaun to kick his ass, me to go out on Ascension episode 4, do a promo explain why all that happened. That leads for me to say, me and you are not done until we face off against each other. And that was going to happen at PW show Last Survivor, which, of course, it never happened. The match between me and Jacob never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would be let go from MPW, ending my first run not long after that episode happened.
Okay.
And I was over there in the Carpe Diem network. They ended their partnership, and everything was fine for a while. But it didn't take until several months later for it to become clear that everything was not fine. I basically was outed as a creepy little bastard, I'll just say that. Had some inappropriate behavior, did some shit that I shouldn't have behind the scenes, and they caught wind of it. And next thing I knew, September 1st, 2023 would be literally the darkest day I ever experienced in my time in this community. As I was exiled.
I hear you on that one.
And then 2 months after that, Deshaun and the Carpe Diem Network put out their big premium live event called Consequential Comeuppance Part 2 on November 1st. And DJ, I kid you not, Deshaun did something that to this day I will continue to hold over his head unless he apologizes to me directly.
Okay. Even though we are exposing a lot of individuals right now with this whole narrative, and this is what we kind of do.
Yeah, now, Deshaun and all of them, they basically kind of held me off for their little rebrand to their show called Carp Noctum Wrestling, which was going to replace their soon-to-be shutting down side of their show called Reign of Valiance Wrestling. Now, all those plans got scrapped because Deshaun did something that easily I can say you should never do to anybody's character in a co-op promotion whatsoever. Beat me up with a baseball bat. Beat me up with a baseball bat first. Hit me with this finisher, which I stole from him, which is Aleister Black's Black Mass, which he called the Deafening Silence. I literally call it the same name. And then picked me up, did a little angle with the little Dean Ambrose gun taunt, and shot my character in the head, essentially killing my character. And ever since that lovely day, I have held a grudge towards Deshaun and the Carpe Diem Network for that.
I see. So it's a lot of things that happen in the call community to you that's getting exposed on this here episode. And I say this right here, they deserve all this publicity that they're getting because they did wrong for everybody to see that on their show.
And here's the thing. Another transgender friend of mine by the name of Alexis Adams, if somehow, some way she sees this, shout outs to you. You're a real one for defending my honor literally 24 hours after that show premiered. And I'll say this. Lexi's the only one that I kind of told the truth about that whole matter to. And she's still friends with me, even though she does associate with a group of individuals that associate with a certain somebody that Ray now associates with. But
we're going to get into those individuals in just a second. Trust me. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
Yeah, but as far as I can say, Alexis Adams does not, I repeat, does not, as far as I'm aware, associate with Trey Jeter.
Okay. Noted. For those that's watching, noted.
Now, I will say, however, that when all that eventually came about happening, sooner rather than later, karma came to bite Deshaun and the Carpe Diem network in the ass. So, but I can say right now, 3 years ever since that happened, Deshaun's pretty much on his way out of the community. The woman he was with, he's no longer dating. And I can certainly say he's trying to basically apologize to everyone that he's wronged in the past, including myself, without so much as addressing us entirely ourselves. But I can definitely say, if I get in contact with SR Sugar Kayla or somebody within the Carpe Diem network at the moment, and they are able to get me back in contact with Deshaun, I'm going to get an apology from him, and I'm going to tell him you need to take some proper accountability for that stunt, because that was uncalled for. After I get that, I'm going to let him live out the rest of his life, but I'm going to make sure he remembers that I will never let that slide ever again. I will continue to have it hang over his head like a dark cloud till the day he dies.
Hey, as anybody else should, like anybody who do somebody that dirty is definitely gonna have that on their conscience until they resolve it.
Exactly. Now, I will say
now that all that is all said and done,
now
I want to get into this whole narrative of Ray Nakai and the bullshit that's going on with him, because this has to be addressed, because I say this right now, that man is going down a downhill spiral right now, and I guarantee you it's not looking good.
He's already got Extreme Wrestling Society already throwing him out the damn door, along with COH. So all I gotta say is the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall for him in this community. And it's only a matter of time before he finally caves and he leaves.
And the funny thing about it is, you had to go and associate yourself with a group of individuals that me and CJ Mundo basically been putting on the forefront of most of my episodes and his Moment of Truth episodes, that these group of individuals are going to suck him dry until he does not have anything left. His new company that he has right now is about to be under their leadership now.
Yeah, now, here's the thing, though.
And I think we all know who I'm referring to.
Yeah, I can say right now that my experiences with Devin Kiloa back then, I mean, he was all right, but I could tell, like, a little bit right off the hop that he just didn't like me. I don't know what it was. I mean, clearly after I came back after my little exile, and he stuck his neck out against Bree because she was trying to stir the pot with some certain things. I can say right now that Devin, I'll say, is responsible for getting me out of, and I quote, COD jail. However, he will forever be the biggest person and the biggest piece of shit, second to Ray. Well, I'll put Ray at third place. I'll say Jacob was number one that I have ever met.
Now, I know that these individuals, they are pretty much MPW when we was over there trying to bring it back to its foregone for that was Essential Glory at the moment, brought in names that shouldn't have been brought back in. And this is pretty much a downhill spiral of Ray's career that I could pretty much say he didn't listen to reason.
He didn't listen to reason until we were all gone. All gone. And now look at where it's gotten him. He's got Sugar killing him. He's got Kayla hating him. He's got Eve hating him. He's got a lot of people up his ass.
And then, all because you associated yourself with a group of individuals that CJ and myself and so many other individuals know, you had to go associate yourself with Dixie and Devin Browski. You had to go associate with Iceman. You had to go associate with Feck. These individuals killed careers.
I don't think Browski and Feck. Actually, wait a minute. I did watch their show just 2 nights ago just to see what shit they were gonna pull, and the fact that they had King Dominator and CJ Mondo on the show to write them off has me basically saying, well, what the fuck are you guys going to do? Why haven't you done anything for my call yet?
And then here's the thing about that. I'm glad you brought that up, because why would you have two guys that literally left your company and you never deleted them, but you wanted to write them off the show to prove a point? But other than that, this is another thing that kills me, because I can bring this moment to spotlight here. If you're looking, this moment right here, where you have the woman behind the scenes of O&W literally saying what she said about King Dominator, and King Dominator did address that on episode 12. If y'all missed that, y'all should go check that out. But that right there in itself says a lot to the forefront. That says a lot to the forefront. And now you're going into a trap with Ray, Dixie, Devin Keola, Devin Browski, Iceman, and literally you got dang on the guy that Devin associates around.
Oh, Gage, absolutely, and let's not forget Wheezy. Let's not forget his
yeah, that's what I was referring to. Kiweezy is over there in that little ragtag bunch of toxic individuals too.
Willing to bet they're probably having a little fucked up gangbang right now watching this podcast.
They all are a happy married couple right now. And I say it like that 110%, because they all deserve each other, because you're in that category of doing wrong for the community instead of doing right by the community.
Well, I can definitely say this. If there's one certain thing that I can say right now about Ray that I've finally started to realize, it was simply, don't save him. He don't want to be saved.
Exactly. And as much as we tried to bring this man to the light, you chose darkness instead of the light. Like, that's the craziest thing ever, in my opinion. Who wants to choose darkness and be around a bunch of individuals that's like yourselves? And not only that, you had 2 cars that was not even in your possession. You ain't even talked to the owners of those 2 cars.
Well, to be fair, he's a petty bitch. Now, I can definitely say this, however, and I'll actually credit Ray for this. The fact that he wrote off the rest of my family and not myself, i.e. yet, I'll actually give him some credit where it's due. Because I know he hates me now. And I know those fuckers hate me, because I can definitely say I'm the most vocal. I am the most vocal. And they know that now.
It's like, we all know this one, Nick, for sure, that when people turn their back on real individuals like us, me, you, Kevin Impact, TJ, and a host of us that tried to get this man to be in the right direction, put him in position to be validated in this EFED community of ours. But unfortunately, you turn a good thing into a bad scenario, and now you on your own.
Yep. Because I don't support people that support PDF supporters, Ray. I'm sorry.
And I'm like this. And the funny thing about this is when me and you kind of talked in the Discord when everything went down the way it went down, Nick, I was just like, yo, funny, why is everybody leaving out the chat? I'm like this. And then you had kind of explained to me the whole layout of it. And I'm like, you know something? MPW is going downhill because he's wanting to bring back these individuals. And then I kind of heard out of nowhere that they was bringing back Kevin Wolf, a.k.a. the guy that's really the real cancer of the EFED community.
Oh, I can definitely tell you. I've had my experiences with that fucker, and so has Jacob Serber. In fact,
he's the real
Ray actually told me something. When Kevin was still around, he's the reason Jacob is and was the world champion of MPW during the time of my exile. Kevin Wolf and Jacob Serber came to blows not once, not twice, 3 fucking times. The third time, Jacob was out the door. And that was before Blood Vengeance.
We get breaking information, ladies and gentlemen, that we're sharing with the EFED community.
Well, I mean, I was the one that knew this because Ray told me himself. Now, do I believe this a little? Just a bit. Do I think Ray was literally talking out of his own ass about it? Maybe. Now, that's not saying that I am wishing a lot of bad things. I just want him to understand that because of the choices he's made, the consequences are now starting to rear their ugly heads. Not just with Code of Honor, Extreme Wrestling Society, JTV, Titan Nation Alliance, everywhere.
It's like if he's opening up a Pandora's box to literally show his true intentions to the whole community.
Yep. And he's supporting people that support a group of people that like to prey on little kids. Very, very bad.
And if that doesn't say a lot of things and to bring these individuals into the car community itself is kind of a bad scenario, if anything. And I say it like this. They don't deserve to be in the car community, nor do they belong around people in the car community that don't tolerate that narrative.
Exactly. Now, I will say this right now. Ray, if you're watching this, you made the biggest mistake of your life when you decided to bring Barry back. A man that single-handedly associates himself with Travis Jeter. A fucking PDF supporter because he supported Ryan Riley, Benjamin Bulick. Remember that guy? Remember that guy? Huh? Remember that guy? Oh, that's right. You don't know because he wasn't in your damn show. But he certainly was over there on the Carpe Diem network. Very, very, very bad way of going about things.
And a lot of people are saying this should be a wake-up call to you, Ray, if you're watching. Definitely it's time to break the chain and
that binds you.
Open your eyes. Nick was right there as your right hand, telling you everything not to go do, not to hang around, not associate. You had people that was telling this to you. Even me and CJ Mundo was sitting up here saying, do not associate yourself with these individuals, the Browskis. And what are you doing? We caught you red-handed in the L&W chat, literally associating with them. It's like you're going down a downhill spiral and you're not recovering from it anytime soon. And we don't need this in 2K26 neither.
Yeah, really, Ray. What's next? You gonna try to make amends with the Carpe Diem Network next? Really turn back the clock to 2023? By all means, bud, go right ahead. I'm not saving you anymore. You fucked up with me. You fucked up with Jay. You fucked up with Shendon. You fucked up with CJ. You fucked up with everybody. Suck a dick and die. I don't care who you are, Ray. You fucked up.
And this is a comment that I'm going to highlight right here, right now. Is this. You and your crew need to be canceled, right? Flat out.
Let be a very valuable lesson. Let that be a lesson to you, Ray. If you see this, you made your bed with
and
this.
And then here's another thing that I'm gonna highlight. To Ray, you're gonna get locked up for everything that you've done, and you don't want to hang around or associate yourself with those individuals. You just don't want that. You just don't want that. You don't want to put yourself in a predicament where you are literally portraying yourself and your show under their guidance. And if you have them under your guidance, you're going to get your fan base into a world of shit that you should not have.
Yeah, and I just saw Shen's comment, and I just got to say this, Shen. I feel ya. I feel ya. We tried to warn him.
Everybody had their best interest for you, Ray. And all we wanted to do was see you succeed. But you're going down a spiral that is ultimately going to get you in a predicament you don't want to be in. And don't come running back to us saying, oh, we wasn't there for you. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. No, you chose this on yourself because you decided to hang around individuals that we were trying to get you away from.
Yep, and you decided, oh, I'm going to try to ruin Nick Kiken's chances in other shows like Extreme Wrestling Society and Code of Honor for his chances to even so much as get back in there. Yeah, right? Let me ask you, as of recently, how well did that work out for you? How well did that go for you after they found out the truth?
As CJ Mundo just said right here.
I already said it, CJ, but quite honestly, the fact that you said it, thank you for doubling down with it.
CJ just said it right there, so it's pretty much set in stone. Ray, you're on your own. Don't come asking the real ones for help anymore now. And I'm glad I brought Nick on this episode to basically make his point known to you and these toxic narrative people, because y'all think y'all have the control. Y'all think y'all shows are this, that, and the third. You know you wouldn't be able to touch TNA. You wouldn't be able to touch JTV. You wouldn't be able to touch half the shows that are doing way better numbers than you combined. Let that be a lesson.
As a matter of fact, I'll say this right now. Considering I'm sure that Jacob Serber's still back over there, and maybe Bree George is over there right now, I will say this right now. Ray, I fucking dare you. If Jacob is over there, I fucking dare you to have him go up against me. Trust me. You do that, I'll know just how petty you are.
It already
Try me,
shows,
bud. Try me.
like, and Nick, it already shows that in that first episode, me being over there, listening to their commentary and all that stuff, they literally was popping heavy shots. Him, Devin Keola, and all those other clown balls, they literally was popping so much shit. Like, oh, we got this, we got that, but no. What y'all don't want to admit the truth? Y'all had handouts given to y'all by real individuals, by real people that literally stood up for what the community needed and wanted. But y'all chose jealousy and envy against people that were only there to help you.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
In fact, I'll just say it now. Ray literally went from trying to ask for advice from all of us to immediately, once he went back to Trey, then he literally went from, oh, I need help with my shit, to, oh, Mr. Jeter, you taste so good.
Yo, you know what? You know what that tells me, Nick? And I'm gonna be dead honest with you. He was being real with us 1 minute to now being a sap sucking kiss ass.
Yep, he's a dick rider. Enough said.
At the end of the day, we don't associate ourselves with people who are following trends of what other E-Fed owners are doing. We're making our own trends over here. We're setting the standard over here. We are the impact that is needed for the E-Fed community, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, now, I will say this, however. There's nothing wrong with taking some inspiration from other shows, but there is a way to do it, and do it to the point where you can take your own spin on it. That is what I was trying to do for you as part of the creative team, Ray. You didn't want to listen.
It felt like he didn't want to listen to none of us. Me, you, CJ, anybody that was in that little chat. He basically distanced himself because, oh, you ain't have Devin Keola, you ain't have this person, you ain't have this person. You felt so bad that you kicked Devin Keola to the curb after everything that he done to you, but you went back and kissed his ass anyway.
Yeah. Jackson Cole, you are a piece of shit for making that happen. I'm sorry. You are. Now, anyways, so after all that, yeah, basically back onto the subject of the story. So basically, I came back to MPW, got into a feud with Devin, and of course, we all know the rest. I don't think I need to tell the rest of the story.
Right. Everything is all self-explanatory from here on out.
Yep. But yeah, I can definitely say that's pretty much all you need to know about Nick Kiken as far as like backstory and shit that.
Most definitely, because at the end of the day, we did cover the real narrative of this episode, which was Ray Nakai and his associate clowns, if you will, because that's all they're ever going to be is clowns, because they can't match up to real E-Fed shows. And then here go the bad part about this.
I wonder if they go to the same face paint shop that Maverick goes to.
See, and here's the crazy thing.
I think even just painting their faces is still embarrassing.
And here's the crazy thing about it, Nick. That's the crazy part about this. You are basically taking the name FAM and making it look bad to a community that was appreciative of FAM.
Well, they actually changed the name again. They realized very quickly that after all the shit hit the fan, they'd take that name. Whoo, Black Heron was gonna chew Ray up and spit him out.
Oh boy. And I know that you don't want to tarnish a good name like FAM for no reason.
Oh yeah. I mean, Cameron Batch and all of them already did that pretty much.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, and with all the respect in the world to those over there in the movement, like Cameron Bash, Ron Buster, and all them, you guys, while I will say killing FAN the way you guys did was kind of a dick move, I will say this. The reason behind it that I heard about with basically just highlight reel e-feds just slowly dying out.
Right.
Yeah, not only was it a massive time crunch and a lot of hard work had to go into that, I could definitely say shows like Code of Honor and other shows that like JTV and all that. I mean, sure they take a bunch of time, but they can get out a hell of a lot more quicker and a lot more consistently with the formula that they have. Like some shows do AI versus AI, or some are just done within Universe Mint itself. Others, they have PvP as well as highlight reel. Same with those other shows. Like some had the AI versus AI matches, some also dabble with the highlight reel for some other matches.
Mm-hmm.
And some certain spots. I've seen my fair share of it, but I can definitely say full-on highlight reel shows like that of FAM are now basically a lost art in this community now since FAM's demise.
It feels
And
like everybody is evolving that ladder of how they do their shows.
exactly, and I can definitely say FAM had a choice to make. It was either adapt and evolve that or die, basically. But that's neither here nor there for me to say that they made a good decision or a bad decision. They made the decision that was best for them.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like everybody going into 26, I strongly advise you to watch who you bring to your company because these individuals nowadays, you can't trust everybody in your company to do what's best for the company. And I
Exactly.
say that wholeheartedly. Do not
Exactly.
make the mistakes of toxic EFED owners of what they are doing to the EFED community now. Nobody should have favoritism in their shows anymore. Nobody should have favorites in general. Use
Exactly. Because
your creators.
that is what kills a lot of shows. Because if you cannot get one fucking superstar that is your world champion to pass the torch to the next generation, looking at you, Devin, your show's gonna tank. Enough said.
And like that is a huge factor in itself, Nick, that I brought up there because no show should basically have favorites and then have your own cause be the star point of the show itself.
Unless you're someone like Shendon who is just too damn good at PvP to be beaten.
Hey! If you got a guy like that, then oh boy, he's a tough one to crack. Like that's what I'll say right there. You got those individuals like that in your show, they're tough to crack.
Yeah, believe me, I found that out the hard way in training matches with him. He is a tough bitch to beat.
It's almost like you gotta have that Brock Lesnar style player that'll blow through anybody in your roster, no matter who stands up against him. They're gonna get their ass kicked.
Yep. But I think I got what it takes to beat Shenton. I just got a lot of work to do in order to do that. And also I got to worry about trying to even out the odds against BKS. But we'll get to that very, very soon now, won't we, Shendon?
At the end of the day, I will say this: if you haven't checked out the aftermath of or Mondomania and know what we are referring to here, go check out Mondomania. It's definitely worth it to watch right now because that little segment that you had right there, Kevin Impact, BKS, and all those guys, that was like one of those epic moments that you can say is star-studded action right there in itself.
Yep, I can definitely say this right now. Shendon, just try to do that shit again. When I know you're coming. Just try me.
Like, I already know that we got the Mondomania after that show. Definitely stay tuned to CJ's channel for that. But right now, I say this right now. This has been an action-packed episode right now. But we're gonna close this out on that note. We done revealed a lot of things on this episode, Nick. We have definitely revealed a lot.
Yep.
Dug into the backstory of you. We literally covered the toxic narrative of people that you ran into in this e-fed industry, brought that to the forefront. But
yeah, I will close off with this. Bree is slowly starting to make some peace as far as like how she feels about me and all that. But that's a story
in another chapter for another episode. that right there. But it's like it's good to see that people can really open up to a whole new perspective and make amends with certain individuals that they were cool with in this e-fed industry. I appreciate those that take the time to make those amends.
Yeah, valid. And I mean, to be fair, me and Bree had a comment to me with this whole thing, so bing bong, you're being summoned.
But it's like, but we're gonna close out the chapter on this one. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode.